It may feel a bit strange to be talking about what hasn't worked on your channel, but I thought to do that this time. So I took out the list of the videos that have the least amount of views over time, and then I selected 5 of those. With some of them I can guess why they didn't do well, but with others I don't. So maybe you can even tell me what was wrong with them. One of the things definitely that makes a video not do well on a certain channel is that if the subject is too far from what people are expecting from your channel. So a couple of these probably have that as the main reason. But then there are also a couple that I don't know why people didn't watch them. So let's see the first one. It's this here, about a variation about the moss stitch, which is a very common and liked stitch. So one reason why this one didn't do well is that either there are too many videos about the moss stitch in general, or one reason always is that when people see a thumbnail that it doesn't interest them. So I'm going to play through the entire video. In the latest compilation video I was in Las Palmas filming some of it outside. Now I'm back in Finland where spring is very slowly starting. Sometimes a very small difference in a well-known stitch can make a big difference. This here is the normal moss stitch, and then when you just make a tiny difference you get it like this here, so that you have these here arches. Like any stitch, it looks different depending on your color choice. So this here one is, as you can see, just one color, and it has also been made with a larger crochet hook, so it's softer, and that would be ideal for a scarf or a blanket. But in different yarn and with a slightly smaller hook, these here would be great for coasters just as they are, or you could use them for table mats or things like a cushion cover or other things in your home. In this one, the colors change all the time in a regular basis, 2 rows each color, and the art here has always been done in the same color. So let's look now how we are going to make it. And I'm Tuula from Finland with you in this tutorial. And as you can guess, I'm not in Finland at the moment, but in Las Palmas, Gran Canaria. To start, the length of your chain needs to be in multiples of 4, and then after that we crochet 5. So I have 20 stitches here for my little sample, and now I crochet 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. And like for the moss stitch in general, it's good to crochet the chain fairly tight so that the first row doesn't flare out. And for the first row, insert the hook into the 3rd stitch from the hook, not counting the loop on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet there. Then chain 1, skip 1, and a single crochet in the next one. Again, chain 1, skip 1, and single crochet. And this is how you continue until the end of your chain, whatever length your chain is. Here, and then chain 3. For turning we always chain 3. You would also hear people chaining just 2 for turning in moss stitch, whichever you prefer. I always do 3. Then turn, and this is still a normal row for moss stitch. You look for the space under the chain and make a single crochet there. Chain 1, and then go to the next space under one chain, and so on. Chain 1, and there again, and like this until the end. And I'm nearly at the end now. Chain 1, and then the last stitch goes into that there little ring, or whatever you call it, that was done by the chaining 3. Here. And then we'll make the first different type of a stitch, but for this first one I'm not changing color yet. Again, chain 3, and turn, and the first stitch is the same. You go under that there, chain 1 space. But now the difference, instead of chaining 1, you chain 3. So chain 3, and look for the next space, but that's not where we go but the one after. So we skip one space and go in there. Then again chain 3 and not that one but this here one, and like this until the end of your chain. And the way we calculated the stitches, the way we attach the last of the chain 3 is in that there loop one before the end, and then you finish off chaining 1 and going into that there end. So that was that row. Now we have these chain 3 loops right along. Chain 3 and turn, and again here the first one just the same into that there loop or space. This video has needed lots of retakes because there's so much noise on the street. Then chain 1 and now insert the hook into that larger loop at the start of it and make a single crochet there. Then chain 1 and a second single crochet in that same loop, sort of at the other end of it. Then chain 1 and jump into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1 and in that same loop. So this is how we continue. Chain 1 and skip into the next longer loop, chain 1 and in that same one. So like that until the end, and at the end again in there, the last bit. And the next row then is the basic moss stitch row. So you chain 3 and turn and go into the first space, single crochet, chain 1, and now you treat these that have been done into the loop exactly as if they were the way we did in the beginning. So like that. It's in, sometimes it's a bit hard to see where it is exactly. So continue like that, but leave the last stitch undone. We'll change the color there. I'm at the end now and I chain 1 and start the single crochet at the end, but leave the 2 loops on the hook and then take your new color if you're changing color and pull through the last stitch already using the new color. That always makes a neater change with whatever you are doing. And then I'll go back and forth once with this one, just the basic. So 3, chain 3, turn, and always into those loops. And now I'll go back and forth using this here color, and then after that we'll do loops again. Here, and then I'll change the color. I'll start the last stitch, and when it's only 2 rows I would not cut the yarn and have lots of yarn ends to finish off. Instead I just take it from there and skip alongside the border here, and that works even for longer stretches than just 2 or 3 or 4 rows if you are going to crochet a border over those yarns then. But here chain 3, turn, 1 normal stitch, and then you start exactly the same what we did here. So chain 3, skip 1 of those spaces and go into the next one. And this is what you repeat any number of times in any number of colors you choose. This here has 2 colors. The next video makes me feel nostalgic. It's 7 years old, but it also makes me cringe because of the quality. It's been done without the microphone, so there's a lot of sound coming from all around, and it's hardly been edited. at the same time it's good to see that I have learned things over the years. But it's also the first video where I was showing myself on the whole video, and I made it as a thank you video for 10,000 subscribers. And one of the reasons why this hasn't got very many views is that people were basically looking for crochet tips only from my channel. They were not following me, so what I was talking about did not interest them. So in that sense, this kind of video mentioning the number of subscribers is not popular. And for that reason also I had never done a video like that again. So let's see it. Hello everyone. I don't often post videos where I actually show myself and talk to you directly. Normally it's just my hands. But decided to do one now that I just got 10,000 subscribers. So thank you every single one of you 10,000. I'm in Portugal at the moment and it's very different here from Finland where I come from. As you can imagine, it's not summer here, but it feels like summer for somebody from Finland. Here's a photo that I just received today of what it looks like in my own town in Turku. So quite a bit different, but I'm enjoying it here. I'm working on my new blog, so I'll let you know as soon as it's launched. Not long now, a few weeks, and then it will be live. I was just looking at my channel statistics, and there have been people in the last year from 162 countries, and I actually wrote down the ones where as most viewers. So that's United States, India, Finland, United Kingdom, Pakistan, Turkey, Algeria, Italy, Greece and Germany. So those are the 10, so a special hello to those who are from those countries. If you are mainly crocheting only, please check my videos about knitting. You might enjoy it just as much as crocheting. So I'm showing you where I am at the moment and I'm looking forward to talking to you again. I'll continue to make videos and I'll let you know when the new blog will be online. Okay, bye. This next video was a lot of fun to make. I made it together with my grandson, who then was 8 years old. That was a couple of years ago. And I must stress that he had his parents' permission to do it. It was his idea, and at that time he was quite excited about that. But then it's one of the videos that is very different from other ones on my channel. And probably for that reason didn't interest people, unfortunately. This here is my grandson Daniel. He's 8 and he wanted to be on a video. He has his parents' permission to do it. And it was actually his idea what we are going to do now. So I'm going to show him 10 different things that I have crocheted over the years, and he's going to evaluate how good he thinks that thing is. So we'll start that now. Okay, here comes the first one. What do you think, Daniel?
It's bigger.
Uh-huh. What number?
3.
Good. Okay. Next one. Here it is.
Okay. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But 3.
Again 3. Okay. So here comes the next one.
Oh.
Okay, good. 4.
4.
Mm-hmm. Then
Oh.
what number do you think this one is?
Okay.
Good. Again 4. Next comes this here.
Oh.
What do you think? It's very colorful. 5. Good. You like colors. Next one is very small.
It's beautiful.
Good.
3. 1.
Uh-huh. Good. 3. Then we have 2 left. This is the next one.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Good. 4. And then there's 1 left, and it's this here. What do you think?
4.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Daniel. So that's them all.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the first video Daniel and I have been doing together, and who knows, maybe there will be more in the future. This next one again is something that's very different from what I normally have on my channel, and again, probably one of the reasons why it didn't do well. Sometimes I have wondered if I shouldn't sometimes step out a bit of what I normally do, only crochet. But then everybody says you should niche down, that if you spread what you do, then people don't know what you are about, and YouTube doesn't know what you are about. So this is probably the reason why this video, even though it was nice to make, hasn't interested very many people. It's great sometimes to try new hobbies, and that's what I have done. This here. It's a raya rug, a mini one, something that's very traditional in Finland. You sew this yarn on a background and it can create any kind of designs. So I'm showing how I made it, and I have a link in the description to where you can get these kits. So it's a ready-made kit with instructions. That's why I dare to do it, because I haven't tried that before. But it's a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to make more of these too. I chose this one from the 4 different designs, and I'm now here on that chart. If I turn it inside out, you can see better. So what I have here on the back side is mirroring what I have here. So I'm right here now, and then I change the color again. Here I'm a good bit further on with it. On the chart I'm now here. And if I turn this round, here are the squares. But because this is the first time I'm making this, it's not completely straight here. But I'm happy enough with it. So I just keep going. Always when I have a bit done, then I pull that out and cut them. After finishing all the stitching, I actually read in the instructions to cut them all at one go at the end, but by then it was too late. Here it's all finished, and I have cut open all the rest of the loops and sewn seams, just leaving very little around it. Then what you need to do is to comb through it with a very large comb, which I don't have, so I'm using this sort of a hair clip and combing through it. And I continue through it. And then, as you can see, there are some longer yarns, so I'm going to even it out a bit with scissors. Use very sharp scissors. I have these Fiskars ones from Finland. You can see the link in the description. So where there's 2 long bits, just even it out. and so on. Then I still comb it up one more time. And then I'll hang it. I'm inserting this stick in the top seam so it's harder. But it doesn't show, it just makes it sturdier. And here it is on my wall. I'm really pleased with it. And if you want to make one, check out the link in my description. The last one of these 5 is a very interesting case in a way, because something happened with it that hasn't happened with any other video. If you see here, that video has lost 15 subscribers. Okay, I have nearly 250,000 subscribers, so 15 is not much. But I went through a number of less popular videos, and that is the only one that after a longer time ends up in a negative as far as subscribers go. Every video loses subscribers, that's normal. And it's good that people unsubscribe if they no longer are interested in something. But normally on almost all other videos, it very quickly goes past. And the majority of videos have brought hundreds or thousands, and the best ones tens of thousands of new subscribers. So I have no idea why this video has been considered so bad that so many people did not subscribe when they watched it, that it ended up in the negative. So if you can think why, please tell me, because it would be just interesting to know. Today we are making a 4-petal flower like this here that you can use for a whole lot of different projects, like scarves or shawls or blankets or baby things or cushions, whatever you come up with. The size of your flower of course depends on your yarn and hook. This here is worsted weight and a hook 4 millimeters. My favorite hooks, check out in the description. This here is crochet thread, and I used a tiny hook, 1.75 millimeter. So it's this much smaller. So you need 3 colors for each: the center, the main flower, and then the bordering. If you are making them all in different colors, then you can also use leftover yarn like that there. The yarns don't need to be exactly the same, but they need to be more or less the same weight. You might also want to use 4 stitch markers, because that will make it easier to know exactly where the top picot goes, but not necessary. Or you can use little pieces of yarn instead of stitch markers. Let's see how we make it. I'm using the blue yarn for the center of it. Start with a slip knot and then chain 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And join it into a ring using a slip stitch. And then chain 3. These replace the first double crochet in here, and I'm using American crochet terms. Double crochet is treble in British terms, and you need to make 11 double crochets in here into the ring, and you have a bit less work if you leave the tail into the stitches. So a double crochet into the ring and directly another one, no chains in between. So you make 11 of these, and you may need to sort of move them a bit so that you fit the 11 into it here, and then join it using a slip stitch at the top of the 3 chains you had in the beginning here. So now we have 12 stitches in this here, and we won't be using this yarn again, so you can cut it and actually fasten it off. Even though we had this here inside the stitches, I would still pass some of it again so it doesn't come loose. It makes it easier if you finish off the yarn here now. Here, and then this here surface stitching will be done at the very end. So now we start with this here. First we make the loops that we put the stitches into. So take this centerpiece, make sure it's the right way around so that the stitches are towards you. Take your other yarn and insert the hook into any of the stitches and pull the yarn through. Then chain 1 just for the attaching and a single crochet in that same stitch. And now we'll do the first of those 4 longer loops. Chain 12, chain 12. And then a single crochet in that same stitch where we had the previous one. And 3 more single crochets in those next stitches. 2 and 3. And then again chain 12. And a single crochet in that same stitch. And again 3 more. And then do the same twice more. So chaining 12 and then the stitches and then 1 more, and we'll look at it at the end of the round. I'm getting towards the end of the round so that I have done the last of the loops and then attached it there, and then I have 2 more stitches here, and we always had 4, but the last one's already there. So then a slip stitch at the start there, like this. And then we go around each of these. First 2 single crochets, then 2 half double crochets, so which means that you pull through straight away there, 2, and then 2 double crochets, and I'll pull this a bit tighter so we get enough room for the stitches. And then we need 7 trebles, and the middle one of them, the 4th one, is the one where we need to put the stitch marker in. So treble 2 yarn overs, first one, second one. By the way, if any time in my video or anybody else's video something goes too fast, remember that it's easy to slow a video down. Third one, and 4th, and then the stitch marker here. There, so I know which one is the middle one. And then the other side the same but in the opposite order. So we have 3 more trebles to do. And then 2 double crochets. Then 2 half double crochets and 2 single crochets, like that there. And then here insert the hook in the middle of these stitches here and make 1 single crochet there, and then we continue the other one exactly the same. So all the 4, do them the same way. So this is it, and at the end I used a slip stitch to finish off, and actually I'm going to weave this yarn end in before continuing. It's easier to work that way. And then we are going to go around it using single crochets plus making these picots at the points. And I'm also showing a couple of ways you can attach these together already on the last round after you have several of them made. Then take your new yarn and any of these points or rings or whatever they are, and insert your hook into the stitch that you had marked. So that's the middle stitch, and attach the yarn there. And then start going around using single crochets. Mostly 1 into each stitch, but both on this side and this side you need to increase once, otherwise it's starting to pull. So after you have 2 or 3 done, doesn't matter exactly where, but somewhere here, make 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, like that. And then keep going, and then we'll look at how we do that there, where we move to the next one. Continue until you get closer to the center, and then when you have just 1 left here, insert your hook there and pull up a loop, but don't continue there, and then go into the middle of there as well, and in the stitch in the next one there. So now you have 4 loops altogether on your hook, and take the yarn and pull through all of them at one time. So it makes sort of a tight stitch there. And then continue using single crochets. And when you are coming closer to the center of it, then 2 in 1 stitch to increase. And continuing, and now I'm in that stitch that I have marked. I remove the stitch marker and then chain 3. And after the chains, go back in that same stitch and do a single crochet there as well. So there's a little picot there, and then continue just the same. After these few 2 stitches and so on. Continuing there. And here again, there's just 1 left. So a stitch there, and there, and there. And then pull through all of them. And then continue just the same. When you are working on the first one, you continue the same. But when you have more of them done, you can use the last round also to attach another motif to this. And there are actually a couple of ways. I'll show one on this here one now. Again, 2 stitches in there. And this is, remove that. And this is the top. So I could now attach this to the point of another one right here. So I chain 1, and then I take another one and put it the wrong way round against this one and insert the hook into any of the points and make a stitch there, and then chain 1 and come back again into that same stitch. So that attached these two at the corner. Now you can attach them just at the corners, like this here. And I think that's something that I would do, because then it doesn't attach them too tightly. But it's also possible that you want to attach a little bit more, so that you make a couple of stitches, 2 or 3 stitches, joining these as well. But this is the idea, that you join them like this here, if you want them joined more. But I'm not actually doing those, so I undo those stitches there. And then I continue exactly as before, and when I come to the next one, I'll join again. So now I'm at the top of the next one, so I'm going to join that to that again. And then I continue till the end. Now I have gone right round, and the last stitch is in the same one where I started, and then just chain 3 and close it off with a slip stitch, and then cut the yarn. And then we just have this here middle bit to do. So now the surface stitches around this here bit. So take the yarn, insert the hook through any of the stitches here at where the colors change, and get the yarn and pull it here, but leave the working yarn under your work, but keep the hook on this side. And then insert the hook in the next stitch and get the yarn and pull it straight through. And the next one in there, get the yarn. So just making big stitches around here. There. This is actually something I use a lot. I love surface stitching of any sort. So you go right round. Now I'm finished, and then cut the yarn, and to get it looking so that you don't see actually where you started that, pull it straight through here, so no extra stitches there. And then when you take a needle, go into the start of the next stitch here, like that, and tighten, so it looks neat like that. And then you need to tighten the other one as well. So that's it done. Now it's a bit wobbly like that there compared to the one that I had already finished, or the other ones. So heavy rain at the moment, you might actually hear it through my mic. How you block them depends on your material. So if it's real wool like mine, or if it's cotton or something that can take an iron, you could steam from a distance, definitely not touch it, but steam from above. Or you can simply wet them and shape them and let them dry. Until next time. So these were these 5 videos, and YouTube is a learning curve all the time. You learn what works and what doesn't, and what people are interested in. And the main thing is to make the kind of videos that people want to watch and that they find value in. So going over these ones that haven't done well has also been an important exercise. So thank you for watching. Till next time.